Taigi, pirmasis mūsų pranešėjas svečias yra pristatys Švedijos patirtį diegiant ugdomąjį vadovavimą mokyklose. Tai Jerkerio Purato Nora savivaldybės, Karlsängskolan mokyklos mokslų, fizinio lavinimo ir matematikos mokytojas, mokytojas patarėjas, konkurso Švedijos inovatyviausias mokytojas 2012 nugalėtojas, informacinių komunikacinių technologijų vystytojas.
Mr. Jerker? Yes.
I'd like to say, dear Vilnius, tikiuosi, kad jūs turite daug gerai. I hope you understand what I just said. In English, that means good morning, Vilnius. I hope everything is well with you. I would like to present myself through this short PowerPoint. And as you can see, my name is Jerkerio Purato, and I'm a teacher in mathematics, physical education, and science.
Jerker, sorry, we cannot see your presentation somehow.
You cannot, okay?
No, we don't.
To manage that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's coming.
It's coming.
Okay.
Not yet.
And as you can see, my name is Jerkerio Purato, and I'm a teacher in mathematics, physical education, and science. I'm also a peer education coach, and I'm taking this course in Belgium to get some more international way of doing this. So it's very, very funny that I can be a part of your conference in Vilnius today. I also won the prize of Sweden's most innovative teacher this year and had the chance to compete with other European countries in Portugal this year, just a few weeks ago. And I'm also doing some lectures around Sweden and also around Europe. So it's a great opportunity for me to share my things and share my way of coaching my colleagues in Sweden with you. I'm going to present two coaching projects that I'm running right now. One of my projects is I'm just coaching one of my colleagues, and she is also a science teacher and mathematics teacher. So we share the same students, but not the way we work with ICT. So by coaching my colleagues there, I can make her more self-confidence with using ICT in her classroom. I'm also coaching a group of teachers for students with special needs. And this group is quite big, so I cannot coach all of them. But I will show you later how I try to reach them all by coaching two of them. So, but first I would like to ask all of you to think about wheels. As a teacher, I often try to reach my students in different ways. And for example, if I invent something really great, really new way of learning styles, different way of reaching my students, I want to share this innovative style of learning to my colleagues, but that not usually happens. All my colleagues invent their own wheels in their own classrooms and not share their wheels with each other. But if I can use ICT in my work, it's even easier for me to invent a wheel and then share my invention with my colleagues.
Sorry, Jerkerio, I'm really sorry, but your OneNote didn't come up. Could you share it again?
What?
OneNote, your presentation, OneNote, it doesn't show right now.
Okay, but I haven't started using my OneNote,
Sorry.
so it's okay. Later on, I will, as Yogita just told me, I will try to share my OneNote and write it instantaneously when I'm speaking to you. I can do that right now, actually. We'll start now. For example, this is me. I got an idea of how to reach my students. I try to look at this as a wheel. So every time I invent a wheel, I find another way of reaching my students, so they get better knowledge of how to learn something. What I want to do is to share that with my colleagues out there, so that they can continue to build on my wheel. And if they do like that, we together build on my wheel, and in the end of all this, we have built ourselves not only a wheel, but a car. So by adding innovations to one other's wheels, we can build a better wheel, a better way of teach our students, and finally we have reach all our students so that they have the knowledge that is they must have to succeed in the 21st century. Now we will move further on to try to explain how I coach my colleagues and the impact that coaching makes in my school. I discovered that my colleagues works in two different ways. One perhaps is a teacher who don't really know how to use ICT, but really wants to learn. So I used to call them colleagues that don't know, but wants to know. And the other colleagues, I used to call them don't know and don't want to. And I think that the colleagues who don't know and don't want to know because they are afraid of the technology, because it's quite hard to get in a classroom situation and not have the self-confidence with the ICT and stand there in front of the student and don't know what to do when the technology fails. Up here, way above them, I am. And I, as the ICT expert, And my colleagues don't really think it's possible to reach my level of knowledge. But in fact, it's quite easy. All you have to do is to find your self-confidence with ICT and then try to present it to the students in the classroom. I want to reach all of my colleagues. I want to reach this colleague. And I also want to reach this colleague. But it's quite hard to reach this colleague. But by coaching this colleague and this colleague, I call that the colleague don't know but want to know, when they reach a high level of knowledge in ICT, this colleague also see that it's possible for this colleague to reach a high level of knowledge in ICT in the classroom. And they get to know that, okay, if that colleague can do that, so can I. So by coaching this colleague, my first one, call it number 1, I can then reach number 2 by going through this colleague, and this colleague also get the knowledge when they see that colleague number 1 can learn how to use ICT in the classroom. And that makes my network in my school grow quite much. So, and to other colleagues, and they get to know ICT in the classroom better, and the self-confidence within all of my colleagues grow, and my students in my school, in a while they have teachers who use ICT in school at every lesson. And I think also that's quite important because we are responsible for learning our students to deal with the 21st century skills. I don't know if you know about the 21st century skills, but it's students of today must learn how to use technology in the future work, because technology is so involved in all of the communities and the workplaces around the country. So we have to teach them how to use technology as a tool, not only as a social network thing or something. So what you have to do is to learn the students how to use technology in the classroom as a tool, and the teacher must lead them through this knowledge. So this is my first. And what I'm doing when I start this, I take one session together with my colleague, and my colleague has an idea. And my colleague shared this idea with me, and we tried to together create this project by, for example, during 10 weeks, I meet my colleagues 1 hour at a time. So we take it partially. We don't. I don't want to make this project too big. I try to set up small goals so the colleagues can realize that the big goal is some way 10 weeks ahead. So we take just one part at a time, not trying to move on too much, too fast, because then I'm afraid that I will lose my colleagues somewhere in the technology terms and so on. So I have to start in a very basic level and then move on step by step. So, for example, 10 weeks, the knowledge and self-confidence for my colleague grows. First, this is the second week, third week, fourth week, and then in week number 10, the project is ready to launch in the classroom. And when this 10 week has passed, my colleagues can then share this project with some other colleagues who can use this project in her classroom. So basically one of my first projects as a coach, I will now try to explain how I coach my teachers who deals with students with special needs. These teachers sorry, there's something wrong with my pen here. These teachers, there are 6 of them. There's something really strange happening with my computer here. Let's try again. There are 6 of my colleagues. Now, sorry, there was something strange with my computer. My pen didn't work that well, so I tried to explain by talking to you instead of writing. But my colleagues who are teaching students with special needs, there are 6 of them in my school, and of course I cannot coach them together, 6 of them at a time. So what I was trying to do was to coach 2 of them, and these 2 afterwards we have met. They had some meetings with the other 4 of this group with the teachers for students with special needs. So they told the other 4 we was talking about during our coach sessions. And then, obviously, they got questions from their colleagues so that they could take these questions back to me when I met them later on, next week, for example. So I think you have had some handouts from the beginning of this conference where I show you these steps of knowledge building, where my colleagues are being coached by me, and then they tell their colleagues what we're speaking about. And then they get feedback from them, and next week we have sessions where I coach the 2, and then they take the questions back to me so I can speak about what they have been speaking about in this teacher or special needs group. By doing that, I think there's a win-win situation, because when they take human knowledge and tell this knowledge to others who are on the same level of ICT knowledge, they train their knowledge so they get a better understanding on what we were talking about, so that they can pass this further on to their colleagues. And then the feedbacks go from me to all this group, and from this 6-person group back to me, so I can get a peer assessment where we help each other to gain more knowledge about ICT. And this project does not have the aim to point at a specific project my colleagues want to do. It aims to gain more self-confidence in using the ICT as a tool, not just one specific project, but ICT in general. So that project will go on for more than 10 weeks, perhaps for a whole year. But in the end, I hope that their knowledge of using ICT in general has increased, so that they can use this new technology with students with special needs. And I think that technology like this, computers and the internet, can help students with special needs really much, because you can create the best learning environment for every student. Because of perhaps they have problems with reading and writing, so they can learn how to use the computers as a speech synthesizer to have the computer speak to them instead of they have to speak and read the text in a textbook, for example. I don't know if you have the word dyslexia in Lithuania, but special students with dyslexia use this technology very often in my school, where they can have the computer to read from a textbook, for example. So, I'm sorry for that my OneNote didn't work really what I was expecting it to do, but I think if some of you has any questions for me to try to answer.
Thanks, Jerkerio, for nice presentation and nice speech in English and Lithuanian as well. Taigi, Jerkerio mokytojas pristatė savo patirtį kaip coacherio. Vienas darbas su mokytojais, kitas darbas su specialių poreikių vaikais ir jo akcentas buvo į informacinės technologijas, kaip būdą tobulinti pamokai ir būdą išnaudoti geresnę darbą su specialių poreikių mokiniais. Tai dabar Jerkerio dar ekrane ir laukia, galbūt kas nors paklausti. Klausti reikia lietuviškai, vertėjas išvers, o mikrofoną aš duosiu kiekvienam pagirdėti. Taip.
Aš turėjau tokį klausimą, kai buvo priešimas prie tų kolegų, kurie mokytis nenori. Ar būna nesėkmių, ar būna tokių kolegų, kurie apskritai coacherio neprisileidžia? Ačiū.
Sorry, we don't have interpreter right here, so I will try to translate the question. Galite dar kartą pakartoti, nes aš nelabai klausiausi.
Kurie nenori. Jis sakė, kad vieni kolegos nori mokytis, kiti nenori mokytis.
You mentioned that some of your colleagues do want to learn and some of them do not want.
Ar būna tokiu būdu prieimas 100% prie visų kolegų, ar būna tokių kolegų, kurie iš esmės coacherio neprisileidžia, kurie nenori mokytis iš coacherio?
Do you have some colleagues that do want to communicate 100%, and are there any of your colleagues that don't want to talk to coacher at all and they don't want anything? Do you have such a situation?
Yeah, of course I have colleagues that don't want to talk about ICT at all. And my thoughts is that they like the way they teach right now, but in the future they have to adapt to new technology and a new community and a new society. So sooner or later they have to use ICT in their work. So, but I'm not really able to reach them right now. But by coaching colleagues that want to use ICT, I can sooner or later reach them too. So I think that they are afraid for the knowledge and they like the way they teach now, but sooner or later they must adapt to the new technology. But I think it's better for them to be coached by a colleague that was on the same level as they were, because it's hard for them to see that they can reach the same level of knowledge in ICT as I have right now. So it's easier for them to be coached by a colleague that was on the same level of ICT knowledge before.
Okay, thank you.
Ačiū, turim klausimą.
Okay, so I would like to ask the question in English at once. And as we were coached, we were taught to look at the coaching from the viewpoint of a chair with 3 legs: communicative skills between the teachers, then the improvement of lesson plan, and ICT skills. And you were talking only about ICT skills. Is it enough to be a coach in your country to work only with ICT? Or do you touch any other spheres, areas like development of the lesson as well as communication with the teacher?
Okay, yes, of course, I train these communicative skills. When I was coached, I learned some different communicative skills where I respond. For example, if a colleague of mine asks me a question, I can respond to this question to make sure that everyone has the same information. So to make sure that we understand each other. For example, if she or he asks me questions, I respond to he or she with the same questions, and then we make a better connection by having the same picture of the task we are in front of. Also, by learning how to plan your lessons using ICT and share your lesson plan online on the internet, so that the students who are not at the school at the moment can take part in the lesson plan and follow the lessons online via internet or offline afterwards the lesson. So of course we are teaching how to communicate between teachers and also communicate between teachers and students, and try to create a good lesson plan that can be shared both online and offline instantly by printing papers occasionally. Is that the answer to your question?
Thank you. Ar yra dar norinčių paklausti? Tai Jurgita Šilinskaitė, mes projekto vadovė, paskutinį klausimą.
Thank you. If you want to ask I guess one of the most important areas from management side, and the question is, can you tell the backside about technical issues? For example, is it national-wide in your country, your coaching? How it's financed? I have asked all these questions already, but I'm sure that these questions are very relevant for all of us. Okay, thank you.
Jurgita, actually, I didn't hear you as well right now, so...
Okay, I will try to Can you hear me now? Yeah, it's better. Okay, so the question is about the technical issues, the backside. Can you tell a bit, is it national-wide in your country, the coaching? Do you have it in all the schools, or your school is very special because that you are working, for example, with this issue? And the second part is how it's financed. Is it national-wide or the school decides? I know that you have told me a little bit about it, but I'm sure that the others are also interested in this question. And I guess this will be the final question because I know that you have to go. Yeah, thanks.
No, that's fine. No, it's not spread nationwide, but it's a growing thing. This with coaching, it's not nationwide. Some of the schools are having this program, and as I said, it's growing quite fast actually. In Stockholm, I think that all of the schools are doing this right now or are planning to doing this. Where I'm from, in the middle of Sweden, there's not that much coaching going on right now. But what I'm trying to do is to get a community with the local schools, local communities, so that we can share and coach each other over the borders of our towns, not only in my little town called Nora, but also in the nearby places. The economics from this is from the. It's not the government doesn't go in and finance these coaching projects. So it's something that the school has to deal with by themselves. For example, in my school, I teach 75% of my time, and 25% I try to develop different ICT strategies, but also this 25% also includes coaching of my colleagues. So it's a local school issue to make room in the schedule for coaching my colleagues. It's not a governmental issue. It's a school issue.
Okay, so I guess I want really to thank you for your time, for sharing your time with us, and to wish the best holidays for you, and good trip. Thank you.
Thank you.